3 years ago, can you believe how long it's been? 3 years ago, we did our first collaboration with the Chamber Orchestra and Drew Petersen, and Drew played Rhapsody in Blue. And it was so brilliant, and I loved the experience so much that I said to Matthew, the music director of the ICO, I said, Matthew, we must do this again. He was like, yeah, I'd love to do it again.
This is one of my favorite collaborations that I've done since I've been music director of the ICO. It came together with conversation with two of our arts partners, the American Pianists Association and Dance Kaleidoscope. The performances that we gave in May 2019 were so popular, so successful that we all immediately started talking about how could we repeat this and what else could we do, what repertoire. This came together with some of our dear friends, and it was that inspiration of goodwill and just appreciation for each other's arts that precipitated this whole collaboration.
We had a blast. We all enjoyed ourselves so much. There was immediate talk of let's do this thing again. What other pieces will work well with piano soloist, orchestra, and dance? There's countless pieces. But maybe because we had been in that kind of crossover jazz classical world of Gershwin, the other kind of obvious piece that fulfills this medium and occupies this style is Ravel's G major piano concerto.
This is brand new. I choreographed the first movement last year, and we're busy in the process of choreographing movements 2 and 3. We're churning out the creative machine. So excited to see how the live music is going to play into it, and Drew is going to add his own special touch to it. We're really excited.
I'm going to be really up on my rhythm game for this piece because there's no sliding and faking it with the dancers. They know immediately, and you can really get in their way if you're not totally on your A game, especially when it comes to the rhythm and the meter. And this piece requires that. So it's extra reinforcement and extra challenge for me to surmount, which I think is really good.
He was really great to work with. Not all musicians really work with the dancers on what tempos we need, because sometimes if he decides to go faster, it's not possible for all the steps we have. So that was really wonderful that he talked with us and worked with us on those. Actually today, David was working with me and Stuart on our duet and solos in the second section of the Ravel piece. The two of us dance with the sections that Drew Petersen is his solos, basically. It's a lot of fun creating and imagining how Drew is gonna play it.
And it's really great to be able to perform this music because it's just so compelling and so clean and so inspiring, and it's so damn difficult. So it's always a challenge to get the balance right between expression and also reserve and objectivity. To be able to feel free to do all that I want to do, but also not lose control over the mechanism of playing, because there's a lot of things, as you'll see, there's a lot of notes to keep track of. And it's also incredibly, despite there being so many notes, it's incredibly exposed because the music is so transparent. It's so well written that you can really perceive and hear every nuance that's going on, even though there's a lot going on. So it's really fun, and I really look forward to sharing it with you.
These collaborations are particularly infectious. There's this really palpable energy on stage when you have the added element of dance. Much of this music was intended to be danced to. So absolutely, I think that not only does the music carry to the dancers and it speaks to them and their body movement, but we get that back just the same way.
I've grown up watching musicians and conductors, and they really do dance and move. It's almost just like having more dancers on the stage.
With everybody on stage and in attendance to the audience, I'm the only one that doesn't really see the dancers. My back is turned to them the whole time. Of course, I'm looking over my shoulder. But in this case, it really is a relationship between Drew and I to make sure that we have adequate rehearsal time beforehand, that we know where he needs to take some time or maybe needs a little bit of flexibility. But again, there's that third element with the dance involved that I just have to listen to the recording or recordings that David's been using in rehearsals so that we really know what they need in relation to tempo in places and where we can have a little bit of flexibility in what Drew and I do.
So as you can see on the floor, the green is the regular stage space, the yellow is the space that we have. I have to confine myself to that. And it's going to be a challenge. I think it's still going to look fabulous on the short stage. I do think that having the orchestra on stage with us is really a great visual, actually. When you look at it and you see all of the orchestra players and all of the dancers on the stage, it's tremendous.
David and I just talked about repertoire that excited us musically, and for David through the element of dance, and we came to a consensus that this was great music, together or separately. Some of this music is intended to be danced to, but in the case of the Ravel, here you have a composer a French impressionist who was inspired by American jazz, and he interweaved all of these things together. I find that it's a great pairing with the Candide overture of Bernstein, as well as the Kilar. Even if this music was absolute in the sense that it was composed for a concert hall, I find that David's choreography is always inspiring and pairs perfectly with the music.
I'm very, very excited. I think the show has a lot of great variety to it. We have lots of fun parts. The whole first part is the more serious part. Second act is a lot of comedy. We're doing the Overture to Candide, which is a fun piece. And then we're doing Brahms Haydn, which is also a comedy. So it should be a lot of fun.